House Leader of the Third Party.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I'm going to do something a little different than what normally happens in here for the 30 minutes of question period. I had the honor of hosting the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General last Friday to Salt Spring Island. And we had the opportunity to meet with the first responders, or some of the first responders on the island. And I just want to say that in the follow-up from that meeting on Friday, my constituents on Salt Spring are very happy for the open and honest dialogue that the Minister of Public Safety had. We met with the RCMP detachment, Sergeant Clive Seabrook, whose community-minded policing, Mr. Speaker, is very welcome and well received by the Islanders. We met for lunch with Fire Chief Jamie Holmes and grateful to the cook and fire volunteer Misha Dewar-McClellan for the delicious chili, cornbread, and salad that was served to us. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to know through you to the Minister of Public Safety what it was that he heard from my community on Salt Spring with respect to public safety and their needs.
Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I appreciate the question from the member because it was an interesting discussion we had with the residents of Salt Spring Island, who brought forward a number of suggestions, how much they value their local detachment and how much they believe in terms of relationship building. And they identified some of the challenges that small communities such as his, and I know occur in other parts of the province, have to deal with, which is where officers come into a community and they're only there for a short time. And particularly when you're dealing with communities that have Aboriginal communities where that relationship is so absolutely critical. They asked me, is there a way in which we can ensure that police in communities like his, and indeed in other communities, don't just do 2 or 3 years, but have the ability to stay longer? And I said that, yeah, you know what, that's something that I know is a problem. It's something that the Committee on Police Reform identified as a problem. And I said it is something I intend to take up with the Federal Minister on that. That's one of the things that we heard. And I thought it was a very valuable discussion, so I thank the member for arranging that meeting.
Member supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, I recognize that the role of question period is to hold government accountable, but it's also, I think, the role of this House to be constructive. And I think that when we have first responders who are here today, who put their lives on the line for our constituents day in and day out, that it's important that they can see that we have both the role of accountability, which they're seeing, and also the role of being constructive. We heard a range of issues, as the Minister pointed out. Many of them, in fact, Salt Spring Islanders are very looking forward to a meeting with the Minister of Transportation, because many of the issues over there are about roads, road quality, road maintenance, the much desired cycling lanes on Fulford-Ganges. Specifically, yes, I know, I'm getting to the question.
Members.
I'm getting to the question. There were...
Members, please. Nobody interrupts.
There were specific questions to the Minister raised by the fire service on Salt Spring. They're in the process of building a new fire hall, and I think that all of the members here that serve in volunteer fire and paid fire services know the value of their fire halls. They also know the value of their communications. Through you to the Minister of Public Safety, what role can the provincial government play in supporting Salt Spring Island with the construction of their new fire hall and their new communications services?
Minister. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. And again, I appreciate the question, because one of the great things about this meeting was to learn firsthand some of the challenges that his community and other communities that I have no doubt face. And one of them is the construction around that new fire hall and the issues and the challenges that they're facing over financing. I have committed to the member that I would be speaking with my colleague, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and the Minister of Finance, in terms of how...
Please continue.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. And I heard the comments across the way, and I'd just like to remind the member that, you know what, when members do ask a question, they do get an answer. Just like when the... Such as when the member of Kootenay East rose last week and asked a question about driver's license in Ukrainian language. I told him that we would deal with it. And Honourable Speaker, as I told him yesterday, and I'll tell the rest of his colleagues, that issue is going to be dealt with and be completed by the 27th of March, Honourable Speaker. And in answer to the member's question, I've committed to getting those answers, and I will do just that.